Welcome to the Banter with Dave. That's Hobbsy. We're sponsored by Berserk Athletics for all your team custom uniform needs. Hobbsy, how's the week been, my man?
Been crazy, man. State wrestling tournament is a
Yeah?
trip.
How'd that
Yep.
end up going?
Well, he didn't finish where he wanted to, but got beat in his blood match. But wrestled pretty good. Had a really tough bracket. Really tough
Yeah?
bracket. So
Yeah?
wrestled a kid out of Brookfield. His first match he won. Second match wrestled a kid out of Brookfield named Seda. Last name Seda. He's a stud. He's a senior. Can you imagine
Uh-huh.
113 pound senior? But
I mean, I guess when you eat salads all the time, that's what happens.
right, Braden beat him last year. Kind of shocked him in the first round of state.
Uh-huh.
This year, Seda wrestled a lot better.
He came a little more prepared.
Yeah, Braden had him in some stuff, but we got to get stronger. Got to get in the weight room. That he just muscle wise he wasn't there. Then of course, one after that one. Then on his blood match, pretty much his bubble match, caught Brewer from Versailles, who ended up placing third. Caught him and lost 5-0. Good match, just he couldn't get him rolled over in anything. So tough go, but great season. Led the team in pins. Doubled his win total almost. In a good spot. I think he realized last year he didn't want to stay to watch championships, and this year he did. I think it added a little fuel to the fire because he started to realize that maybe he is cut out to be the dude or one of the top five. So yeah, it was tough, but it was also awesome. Pretty proud of the kid. But yeah, he saw everybody up on the podium, and it's funny, you got your top six guys. One of them has been able to pin Braden. The other ones have not pinned Braden, and they beat him. He's had some close ones against all of them. And getting knocked out by the kid that took second, and the kid that took third is never a bad thing. Lost as a team. Rough go, super young. They had Braden's best friend Connor got fifth. Connor's a great wrestler. He also had he probably the first one to tell you his first two he got a good draw.
Yeah.
On his side. Got a real good draw. got it. His first two were didn't look like they were much work for Connor, and then he ran into a Butler kid. Ran into a Butler kid he's had some trouble with this year. Butler, and then Marco from Pius ended up winning it and beating the Butler kid for the championship in 150.
Right. I did see that Pius as a team just pretty much swept through state.
Well, do you want to? I guess you want to get into that.
We can get into it. You know me.
So what I don't understand, and I'm not making excuses because it is what it is. In my opinion, with you, we're both on the same page. You want to be good at any sport, you have to work to get there. It's the culture, it's the whole team. It's not just one guy. Give me the best wrestler in the state. That doesn't make up for any of the other weights. It's a whole team. And the fact that St. Pius is a 1A team in wrestling, and that's not the case in any other sport. And then obviously in 1A, Pius won it. Number 2 ranked was Father Tolton, the Pius of Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, Summit Christian Academy in 2A. Had a few pretty good studs. It's awfully interesting that so many kids from those schools live in that area, and they just produce just amazing weight classes at every single weight. And it's just crazy. And then as a 1A school, there's boys on this team that could probably not roll through, but handle themselves just fine against the 3A and 4A kids. And they've been wrestling. And again, not taking anything away from them, because when you live in the city, you're going to wrestle those kids. You got a lot more access to programs, and but at the same time, it's rough as any small town high school, knowing you're going to roll up against a monster squad like that, and there's some
come
here because we can get you in here type situations.
it like we said, we've talked about this before. I think it boils down to with I guess you call them private schools per se.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As it comes down to how they do the 1As, 2As, it all goes down to enrollment and what's
Uh-huh.
enrolled. So you can get those kids, the higher echelon type of athlete
Yep.
to go there. So but you can fall under those
Yep.
smaller school numbers because but yet you're located in a big city. You can pull from all the metro, the metro.
Exactly. And
Uh
Kearney, Missouri. Kearney, Missouri
yeah,
somehow finds its way to Pius. Weird.
yeah.
So,
So
you know,
that is what they is, but uh like we did last time, talk about the lids. Go
oh,
ahead, just go ahead, and talk about yours.
got me a Frenchie. As everybody knows,
Nice.
this was a present from the wife for Valentine's Day. Anybody that knows me, anybody that doesn't know me, I'm a huge Frenchie Bulldog guy. I have two of them. I have Whiskey, who's my old girl, who's 10. Then I have Rummy, who's my little evil raptor dog, who's one,
Uh
who just turned one. And we got her right in between Valentine's Day and my birthday last year. So when you see a Frenchie fitted, shout out to Clink Room. That's it.
hey, I've seen some of their hats, man.
Yep.
They're nice.
When you see
They're
that,
nice.
yeah, when you see one like that, the wife saw that and said, they've had some other Frenchie ones, but she
Yeah,
dug this one, so this is what happened,
yeah.
and you know, so there it is, and can't go wrong with the new air fitted. So,
Well, new air fitted. It's kind of funny.
oh,
We're on the dog wavelength.
El Chihuahua,
Uh, yeah, the El Paso Chihuahuas, the AAA affiliate
yes sir.
for the San Diego Padres. I absolutely found these
Hey,
hats. Hey,
what?
found these hats. I saw the team hat one day. It's like I need it, and then
Yes
it's
sir.
become a thing to try to find as many as I can with
Oh yeah.
the has to have the Chihuahua on it, not the
Yes.
EP, the
Yep.
Chihuahua.
Yep.
But I think it was
That's a
founded
badass.
on New Era lids. But hey, they have a couple different colorways. I got the original game one. That's kind of the style I go for. But man, we're bringing it again this week. Both on the same wavelength, man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
man, that is crazy.
But man, it's been a hell of a week. It's been a busy week. Um, I am excited for the simple fact that we get to practice outdoors
Yes,
with
that's
some
good weather
baseball,
coming too.
70-degree weather. Now, I keep saying that it's going to probably hit us when we start playing, that we're going to get the cold, the rain, the
Oh yeah.
winds, and possibly even snow here and there. So,
Yep.
but if anybody who lives in the Midwest knows that if you are part of baseball, you're ready to get out in this nice weather, and we are going to take full advantage of it. So, man, other than that, man, it's been a busy week. Just a lot going on. You know how it gets with kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, unfortunately, I'm still have this thing that many Americans are dealing with, that the annoying cough.
Yeah.
It's like I don't get into a doctor this week to see, and hopefully that they can help me out and figure out why after 2 months I'm still having these frequent
Fighting
coughs,
the
and
battle.
yeah, fighting the battle. But it's like I feel good. It's
Yeah.
just
Just
it's
can't shake the
annoying.
cough.
Just
Right.
can't shake the cough.
Right.
Annoying as hell. So,
Speaking of,
but man,
you talk about the cough and stuff. So here's a crazy one for you. So right before we leave,
uh huh,
so the weekend, the day after districts, Ashley wasn't feeling good,
uh huh,
and smart enough early on to take a COVID test, and
nah.
had COVID.
Oh
So
man,
yeah, up until we left,
uh huh,
like thank God it was didn't stick around long.
yeah,
We left Wednesday early morning,
uh
and
huh,
up until then, like she was rough Sunday,
yeah,
and Monday all bad. Tuesday started getting a little better. Wednesday, like the cough was still there, and definitely some congestion, but got the negative test, so got in the clear pretty quick, thank God. But yeah, that was a doozy of a time trying to work that into heading to state and stuff, because I'm like, how are we going to do this? And then keeping Braden like fucking completely quarantined from her. So
from it all. So
man. That, and it's funny, man. That cough, it's just my mom's fighting it still. She's had it for a couple months, can't
I
get rid
tell
of
you
it.
what, I mean, if people who watch the show, I'm sure they see me doing this and sniffling and all that stuff. It's just this thing it hit me around right after Thanksgiving. I thought I got over it. Hit me again around Christmas time. I've done antibiotics. So I just said it's time. I guess I should suck it up, get in, see a doctor, man. You know how hard it is for some of us who I absolutely hate doctors. So
See Exhibit 1 right here. Unless I'm in a state where you're in now and it's been lingering along for a while, if it's not fucking completely fallen off, if it's hanging by a limb and maybe a vein, I'm still staying out. But
man, well, let's see. Sports world.
Oh my God.
Baseball has started spring training games. It's let's see. I caught Dodgers and Padres a little bit. Oh, I saw the score.
Yeah, that escalated quickly.
And of course, after you see the score, you get on TikTok, or not TikTok, and Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. All the Dodgers fans hooting and hollering. I'm like, it's day one of spring break. Yeah. Slow down. Just like Yankees fans. Just like Yankees fans blew out. The Yankees blew out someone. You see them on there.
Yeah, the Tigers is like 22-10 or some shit.
Yeah, 23-11 or something like that.
People, it's the fucking Tigers.
Yeah, and it is February 24th. Like, people are still getting into the feel of it. Man, a lot of still big name free agents out there.
Yeah.
Blake Snell.
Have you seen
Cody Bellinger?
Did you see the video of Votto on Instagram?
Yes.
Like looking all sad and shit, like going to the car wash or something. That guy's awesome.
He is a gem.
Yes, he's awesome.
He is we need to protect him at all costs.
Yes, he is definitely that one of them dudes.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Witt already doing Bobby Witt type things.
Man, for the Royals. That play was sick.
Yeah,
the backhand, that was sick.
The backhand.
Did you see Giancarlo Stanton looks like he lost the whole human?
It looks like he is off the cycle.
Yeah, that's a whole different human being. Like they showed him standing by Judge, and I'm like, and I had to look at it again, and I'm like, okay, this is a picture, but what the hell? So then, of course, I had to do about 20 minutes of unnecessary research to find video. Of those two standing together to make sure I'm not seeing shit just on picture, and I'm like, this man lost a whole human being.
Well, yeah, it's I'm anxious to see if this is the healthiest he's ever been, or if this is I don't know. Like, is it going to show in his performance?
Right.
It's a lot of that, but is the size he carried? Is it going to help his performance? Is it going to hinder his performance? Because he's been so used to being that size that sometimes when you lose all that, it takes a minute to get kind of used to the body you're in. But God, look at Panda.
Panda looked good, man.
The Panda looks stand out.
Good. The best Panda I think ever looked.
Whatever he put down looks like Rafael Devers picked up.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
That's not good. I saw him the other day, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
That can't be good. Can't be good. I worry about our Red Sox this year.
Man,
They are not in a good spot.
I'm hoping the series on Netflix is at least a banger.
Yeah, they're gonna need it because
It is. I just don't get how you're a big market team, yet you approach it like a small market with small market money.
yeah, I
We
don't
said that.
know.
I said that before.
I don't know what the mindset there is. I mean, I don't understand why they do what they're doing.
Yeah,
Like whoever Brian O'Halloran or whatever the fuck his concepts are here,
yeah,
I'm not. Nope. That's the wrong division for that shit.
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
because
if you want to
especially
go
now,
out,
there ain't
yeah,
nobody in that division that ain't good except you. But I
yeah,
mean, the sad thing is they've lost a lot of dudes. But I mean, when you have a winning record
uh huh,
and you're like the last place team in your division
yeah,
and you still have a winning record, I guess it kind of
yeah,
also maybe it's easy to be a little harder on them because the American League East is like the National League West.
yeah.
You just
It's
everybody wins.
mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
forget because you see the Central and you're like, holy shit, and so it makes things a little different.
It's it. I mean, I know how we are as Red Sox fans here. I can only imagine how Red Sox fans up in actual Boston are flipping and using their mind.
They'd be like, this is wicked shitty.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Watch a lot of college baseball.
Yeah,
Good Lord, did you see the pitcher for Arkansas?
dealing it. 17 case?
17 Ks. He had on 78 pitches
Yeah.
against was it top ranked Oregon State, who's ranked top 10.
Yep.
Man,
Dealing.
like
Well,
stat line: 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 17 strikeouts on 78 pitches.
that is a good day's work.
That is another level.
Yeah, that is I came
Another
here to
another
take care of
level.
business.
Yeah,
Stony
but
Brook,
man,
baby.
I tell you what, it's I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot. Wake Forest fell.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt has fell. Wake Forest lost again last night.
I think LSU's had a couple. Stony Brook, was it Stony Brook got him
Yep,
and somebody else got him?
yep. Stony Brook got him.
Was it
A lot
UNC?
of the top.
What was it?
Yep, a lot of the
What
top
was it?
teams.
What was that team? North Carolina? What? Green?
Wilmington. All
Yeah,
right,
they got him.
got him. Uh, man, it's fun to watch, and like we've said it, college baseball is different.
Yes, it is.
Though it's something about it. Those small schools, it comes down to who cares.
Man, they grind too.
Mm-hmm.
And now
They are.
I want every single fucking alternate jersey. I think of every college baseball team ever. I think I've just done
I
discriminating.
I was going to ask you if we probably should do something like this. What is your favorite minus TCU?
Hmm.
Uh, and I'll say I'll take out the Kansas one on my part. Uh, I'll even take out ECU on my part and say, what is one of your favorite college teams' uniforms?
Louisville comes to mind out the gate. They're all of the Louisville jerseys are sick. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're nasty. Uh, I hate the fucking school, but Notre Dame's baseball jerseys, they always have a fucking clean, just nasty one. Uh,
Uh-huh.
those are the first two off the top of my head, but dude, Oregon's always got a stupid one.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, but who did I see the other day? Like like on Instagram, like they'll show some of them and shit.
Uh-huh.
Some of these alternate jerseys, like Stony Brooks, they were rocking the other day was gnarly. Them were
Mm-hmm.
neat. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
hard because you see them on, you're like, fuck, man, these are nasty. But I'll always love the Owls jerseys. I'm a huge fan of Vanderbilt's jerseys.
Yeah,
The murdered out ones with the
yeah,
gold
with
stars.
the gold.
I love those. Big fan of those. Man, it's hard to pick.
I
I
love
yeah.
Tulane's baby blues.
The Greenway Baby Blues. Yep, those are
Yep,
absolutely nasty.
absolutely love that.
Those are
Uh,
absolutely nasty.
I was, like I said, I was going to stay. ECU's powder purples.
Them are nasty.
Them are nasty.
There's so
Man,
many. Like
God, there's so many alternate jerseys. But here's the thing: it's like I don't. I'm sure you've seen it. Is the deal that's going on with the MLB and the Nike uniforms?
yeah,
So what is it about these Nike uniforms for the MLB? I know they're saying because they're made by Fanatics and they're outsourced to Fanatics to make, but I'm like, why is it that the college teams that are Nike sponsored and all that stuff not having issues with their uniforms, but yet the MLB jerseys are having these problems?
I don't know. I think the whole thing's kind of gibberish. I was reading about it a little bit,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, I mean, is it that big? Is it that serious a thing? Now I know that I saw the one where they were talking about on more of a humor part of that. They were wearing the pants and the white pants were see through?
Yeah.
see, that was funny. But
I
like
mean,
I
hey
don't know.
MLB, you can Berserk Athletics. Well, I'm sure we can muster up your MLB jerseys for you.
Right. And my thing is, I mean, if you have a deal, if I don't know how deep that Fanatics and I know Fanatics owns Majestic or did own Majestic or bought Majestic,
Uh huh.
and I know
Yeah.
Majestic. I know Majestic. You know, I remember Majestic. I loved Majestic jerseys.
Majestic jerseys were
Yeah,
nice.
I
The
loved every.
Majestic pullovers,
Were
the
the best.
pullovers are probably some of the best that were ever
Yeah,
made.
and that what cracks me up is I loved everything about Majestic until Fanatics bought it.
Yeah.
And it's funny like that. There's a lot of those that I love every part of what they were doing until Fanatics bought them.
Uh huh.
But you know, it's. I mean, that's a tough deal. You know, how are you? If the Nike jerseys were already in the works, you know, whatever. I don't know how the player, how it's if it's a contract deal or what, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
man, how you gonna turn down Nike? Number one,
Yeah.
and you know, the
Yeah.
whole it just seems like some bullshit. All of it. I
Well.
have to read. I have to read more on it because I'm not understanding what's the big to do over it all.
Hmm.
You know, it just I mean, I
Well.
if you got Nike jerseys that have been in the works for 2 to 3 years, you know, go
Like,
with
what's
it.
the deal?
Yeah,
I saw a comment, saw something on Twitter about Jason Kelsey was on a podcast and he was talking about how he didn't care for the Nike football jerseys
yeah,
and that he was saying, oh, it was on Shaq's podcast and how he thought at the time that the Reebok jerseys that the NFL used to have
yeah.
were some of the best ones. So, but yeah, you would think Nike, like I said, it's crazy how the MLB are having these problems. And I don't know if it's because of Fanatics. You know, there's more and more coming out on it and people complaining about it all over social media. But I said, how come? What's the difference between the college jerseys and the pro jerseys?
Right. I
So,
mean, is there that big of a difference?
yeah, that's what's the difference. So,
Because I mean, if you think about it, if the players are saying they hate the Nike jerseys, now
uh-huh.
what is it about the Nike jerseys they hate? Is it the dry fit? Is it how
Yeah,
what's the and in college, most of those kids you're wearing the same shit.
yeah,
Yeah, so exactly. What's so different now? Majestic made them for so long. I get where you'd want to get back into Majestic shit because, they probably
yeah,
like the fit of it and shit. They wore it
yeah.
for how many years?
For God, for a long time.
And I think Majestics was like Cool Base. Does that sound
Uh-huh.
right or some shit like that?
Yeah, it was more of a not the old heavy type material. It was more
Yeah,
that
it
lighter.
got into that.
Yeah, the lighter, not kind of this polyzone material, but it was
Yeah.
that cool temp type
Right.
material. So,
And my thing is,
I mean,
like,
but Nike's is they have the airflow type jerseys. You
and
see it on the college basketball,
yeah,
football, the baseball. You see all the little pinholes and all that. Where they're cool tech or whatever it is.
and let's be honest,
So
if you hate a Nike jersey, like you have enough of them guys throwing a fit like this. What is it? It take them not very long to
yeah,
redesign something, add
yeah,
something. I mean, we're not talking about some aftermarket bullshit where it's Nike,
yeah.
Major League Baseball. They'll fix it, get
Hmm.
over it, shut up. You know what I mean?
So
It's crazy though. Like I mean, I'd get pissed off if I didn't have like mine would be the hats. I don't like
funny you
Nike
said
fitted
that.
hats at all.
I have not tried. I have an Adidas fitted hat,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy. They fit. They only like the size I usually wear in a New Era hat. They don't
Mm-hmm.
carry in the Adidas
These hats.
hats. So it's
Yep.
like the size I went up a size because you could play around with stuff and
Yep.
still fits big, absolutely big. You know how usually you wear a New Era, you can sweat in it, it'll
Yep.
shrink.
Yep.
What
That
the
Adidas
only thing,
material doesn't do that.
yeah, and the only thing, my only complaint about New Era is I can get 8 hats in the same size,
They're all
and
different.
they all fit differently. And I
Yeah,
know
they're
it's
all
all
different.
about where they're made, but it's like this one fits different than the other one I have. I have 4 hats over here on New Era. They all fit differently. So
And it's crazy to think that like you and me do buy enough hats to know, like
yeah,
if you get one made in China or Indonesia or wherever they're
yeah,
making them,
yeah.
like one of the things that it's funny that you say that because one of the things like when I get my Noble North hats, when I get the hats from Canada, one of the things that they do is they're distinctive about where they're made, so you know if you
Yeah,
want one or not. So or you know how to order because
yeah.
it's become obviously enough of a thing that if you're a fitted collector like you and me are that we need to know where they're made so we know what size to
Hmm.
get because
What
if
size
not
to get?
when you start dropping $65 and $75 on a hat to yesteryear when we were buying them for $20 at lids it's you're starting to if you're going to drop real money you're not trying to buy something that's not going to fit your goddamn head.
It's amazing how when I remember being able to go into a mall and you have $25 to get you a hat,
Yeah.
and
do you
now
remember
you're paying $45, $50 a hat.
do you remember I remember when we would go to Hat Zone at Metro North Mall,
Yeah, oh yeah,
do the clearance section, have $50 and walk out of there with, 7 hats.
yeah,
It's probably a Zephyr hat or one of the off
yeah,
brands. Remember, like on top of the
yeah,
world or whatever it was. They
yep.
were all fitted though, man. And you walk out there, and you didn't even give a shit what team it was.
No,
You got a $5 or $6
uh-huh.
fitted. At the time, you were like, well, hell yeah, yeah. I have a Purdue Boilermakers hat. Do I want it because it's that? No, I got it because it's
No,
$7.
yep.
And it was like, hell
If I
yeah,
sweat in it, ruin it,
yeah. It
whatever,
don't
it
matter.
was $7 hat.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
now on sale, motherfuckers are $30.
yeah. My biggest thing is I've noticed the hats that seem to fit me almost perfectly are baseballism hats
Mm-hmm.
and the Ebbett Field hats
The Ebbett hat.
the Ebbett hats absolutely seem now there's a particular model
Mm-hmm.
that absolutely do it. I haven't got one of their old school type of that look like the old hats. They got you know so New Era. I just wish you'd just be a little more consistent.
Right?
I get
For sure.
excited to get because the price they are. Might as well just order 2 instead of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you get in, one fits good, and the other one you're like,
Yeah, you're
crap.
like, this is the exact same fucking hat.
Yeah,
I thought.
like
Yeah, I have one
yeah,
of those. I'll bust it out on the show at some point, but it's for later on. I have one of the. We'll get into the one of the like Veterans Day. It was either Memorial Day or
uh huh,
Veterans Day. Vermont Lake Monsters hats,
uh huh,
and it's the camo, and I mean it's nasty, but it blows my mind just that with design and
Yeah.
that hat itself is same as every other hat I have, and it is the tightest effing hat I got. Like it
That's
just blows my mind because I'm like, it's the same fucking hat.
I
But yeah,
have
it's like
the the Kansas City Royal City Connect hat,
yep, same. Me too.
and for some reason it almost fits more low profile,
Yep,
and it's a
same.
5950, and it's
Yep,
not one of the low profile ones.
yep,
But then I have the Red Sox City Connect hat, and it fits a little bigger, but it's a different material.
yep. See, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Because see, I have
So,
a couple of the MLB like spring training hats
uh-huh.
that are like the cool bit like New Airs like cool base shit.
Yeah.
That I love them. Like I absolutely love them because of how light they are and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can sweat in them. And but I don't. I'm sure any of the hat stuff. It almost makes I wonder if you can like do some of the designs they do on some of this other stuff on that without fucking it up.
Fucking yeah,
You know
messing
what I
it
mean?
up. So it's like, I have two of my Kansas hats, which are their game day hats that they wear.
Mm-hmm.
Same size, made by Adidas. One I put on absolutely, my big head swims in it,
Right.
and the other one fits just right, but it's a little more low profile.
Right.
And I don't know how I keep wanting to try to get a Nike one just to kind of compare, and see. I just, as
Well,
much as I love hats, I deter away from some hats, especially when you want a lot of college based hats.
it's tough.
Even though I'm still on the lookout for a Campbell Fighting Camels hat,
Hell yes.
and I found a new one. I think I want to get is a
Right.
Delaware Fighting Blue Hen hat.
Well, that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good. I like that.
So, but those are like so hard to find. And so,
Dude,
anyways,
I got a TCU Nike fitted, a game day
uh-huh.
TCU, the purple one, and I have a Mizzou one, and both of them fit big
Yeah.
compared to my New Airs. Like my Nike one, it's almost
Yeah.
stupid. Like I'm like, God, like it's now when I have
Yeah.
hair, when my
Yeah.
hair, what I have left of my hair is there,
Yeah.
it's fine. But like I just cut my head, like shave my head, there ain't no
Uh-huh.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I'm not a snapback guy. They just fit me funny. Even the New Air snapbacks fit me funny. It has to be fitted. Um, you know, the Adidas hats are probably the same as the Nike hats then. So,
Yep.
I'm a little hesitant, but at the same time, there's a few cool looking ones that are alternate hats that I want to get my hands on, but it's scares me away.
Right.
And then there's some I want to try the Under Armour hats. So we'll see. Like the
Yep.
Under Armour college baseball hats. So
I have two of the Adidas LSU hats because Lawson Cardinals and
uh-huh.
Louisville Cardinals, it's the same logo.
Yeah.
So I have two of their baseball hats. I don't have any issues with them other than like you said they're more low profile
Uh-huh.
than I'm used to. Like when you put them on, you can you feel the difference.
Oh
like
yeah.
They're much more.
I sit there trying to like
they're
this
much,
one sits a little.
and they're much more like right here.
Yeah. This one sits a little higher than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see me, the ones that do, I try to push down. A lot of it, if people want to know, is because I got to accident and I'm real self-conscious about my scar.
Okay,
So I try to keep that hidden a little bit. But
I get it.
But man, I tell you what, man, it's the hats. I see we keep still rocking different ones.
Oh
I
yeah.
just got a couple. I got a couple in that. Oh yeah.
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 We probably got at least a good Jesus Christ. I bet you we have another about for at least 100 shows. We ought to be good. And then
Man, I tell you,
onwards.
The problem is, I think every time I get paid or come, I'll buy another hat. Why not?
I set aside Ashley would laugh. She totally will laugh at
I
this.
have a hat budget I put
Yeah,
aside. So
always a hat budget. There's
yeah,
never not a hat budget.
yeah.
Like because
It's just
I know I'm gonna buy one even if it's not in the budget, so it just doesn't make any sense not to budget for it
now.
because it's gonna happen.
Do you? I know we're probably different in this sense. Is I have to buy it. I buy a hat that has I could wear with something in my closet.
I used to be that way a lot
Uh
more,
huh.
but as I've gotten older, and of course I'm not getting any skinnier by any means, I I don't. It's so weird because what I used to wear, like I used to have most of my hats match,
Uh
and I try to still match them because I have most of the time I have something that'll go with something.
yeah.
But it's not near as bad as it used to be. But yes, I used to be the exact same way. But now it's
Mm-hmm.
weird because I have like a weird thing. So if I'm online buying hats, I always want to get. I try to get the most obscure, awesome to me minor league
Yeah.
hat, or
Yeah.
I don't want a hat everyone else has. So I absolutely hate traditional hats. Like I know a lot of
Yeah.
people just love traditional hats.
Well, you walk down the street, and I guarantee you're not going to see
Yeah, none of these.
people with the one any of those.
No, and
I'm
I don't want the regular Royals hat. Of course, I've got one. You know, I've got them, but
yeah.
that's not what that's not what I'm in there for now. So
Yeah.
anytime I go out of town for anything, it's kind of like it used to, it's just like tattoos. Like anytime anything significant happens in my life, or like
Uh huh.
I turn a corner is when I get tattooed.
Yeah.
Anytime we go out of town for events or something is when I try. Like if we go to a lids, which we always end up kind of. There's
Yep.
usually somewhere we go with lids. I'll try to get something, but I'll get something kind of obscure. I don't get it to where
Different.
we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Expos hat. I'll bust out the badass Expos hat at some point. That's from a
Mm-hmm.
trip. You know, the Blue Jays hat's from a trip. I got a Rockies hat when I was in Colorado. I dug at the time. Just kind of, I always kind of do it like that. I don't really. I try to base it
I
off
look
that. Just try to
for
get unique
different.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want
I
a fucking hat everybody else got.
I will say this. Lids. Anybody out there? I want to come to your store when you have all these. You'll find these in the store. Every time I go in the store, you don't have that particular size. I have
Nope.
a 7 and 7/8. You guys go from a 7 3/4 to an 8. I'm kind of in between.
Yeah, get
Help a
that
man
size
out. Yeah, give him a size.
and
You can
carry
go
that
online. You can get
4XL
a
shit.
yeah. Like, come on, man.
Get the hat sizes and get that 4XL big man shit.
Man, I'm saying. So, yeah, and no, like, give me a big man shirt at a small man price.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I know it's a little extra. Come on now.
Shit, man.
Crazy.
You get them fucking size
Crazy.
tinies, you might as well get them size bigs. Speaking of
but,
shout outs, right here at the grinds,
oh,
caffeine
oh,
coffee,
okay.
the coffee
Yeah.
talker, saving me from chewing.
Mm-hmm.
That's cinnamon whiskey flavored. Of course, right down my alley. Not for everybody, but gives
Yeah.
me a little caffeine buzz. Holds
Yeah.
me over when I'm trying to avoid energy drinks, and I fell off the wagon quite a while ago on my chewing. I don't chew like I used to, but
Uh-huh.
I do occasionally have me as a chaw as we had on the video a while back. But I don't chew like I used to. But this kind of keeps me from becoming a regular. But yeah, shout out
Now,
to Grinds, good stuff.
I know you've seen it. I've seen it. It's been all over social media. If you came up kind of that has sport gaming situation,
I'm ready.
2025 NCAA football.
I'm ready.
How
Um,
how how psyched are you for that?
well, it's funny. So on the way home from Columbia, me and Braden are in the car, and I'm like, we used to have, of course, we got the father son Madden rivalry. Uh,
Uh-huh.
you haven't played in a while, but I usually take it to him pretty good. Pisses him off. That or it'll go down to the final thing. So I like to remind him. One time we were playing, and I was making a pretty good comeback, and at the end he was
Uh-huh.
driving down to win it, and threw me a pick on the 1 yard line that I took to the house. and he still takes that one a little rough. But I was telling him on the way home, and we were bullshitting. I'm like, man, I was like, we got the big TV in the front room, and I'm like, I'm about to just drop the money and get a fucking big fucking what's it screen,
Oh yeah,
projection screen. I go because
projection screen.
when NCAA football comes out, I'm like, you and me are gonna get it on. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I don't care who I am. I'm like, but not gonna lie to you, I'm probably gonna jump on Coach Prime's Shadur Sanders. Yep. I'm like, I'll probably be I'll be pumped. I can't wait.
You
Man.
do
That's so awesome.
now. When you played it, did you do the fantasy mode? Start off and get recruited as a freshman. Yeah,
I'm trying to get Heisman, baby. Hell yeah,
man.
those games were so fun.
So, I mean, you see these games now. Madden has been around forever.
Yep.
Now the show has kind of become a thing amongst baseball, guys.
They don't
God,
know nothing.
man.
They don't know shit about MVP baseball.
No.
That was where it was.
No.
EA Sports MVP baseball was the baddest shit.
Hey, and they used to have, because they had who was the announcer? What's his name? Who does the college baseball games on ESPN? Oh, I can't think. I can't. I can picture him.
Is it Tim? What's his butt?
He played at Stanford. He does all the College World Series games from Omaha because he's from Omaha. Oh my God. Anyways,
I'm trying to think of it now too, because every time I keep picturing get faces and I can see a face, but I can't think of his name.
If you look it up and you see it, I'm just gonna say, yep, that's it. Kyle Peterson.
Peterson. There it is.
Yes. So, man, playing that game. Then when MLB The Show came about, Madden has been a staple amongst young athletes playing video games. I personally have never been like a Fortnite guy or a what's the one where they all Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
What's the other one where they all get on and start sniping people?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. I'm not a Call of Duty guy,
no,
but I could sit there and play a little bit of the ML show for hours on end.
Yep.
I have become I really like the NBA 2K. I do like that.
See, I like the hockey games. I like
NHL, the old hockey games.
I like all of the NHL games. Like, they're just because it's the only I don't know hockey, so
yeah,
it kind of keeps me in touch with like figuring out who anybody is.
Yeah,
and I've always just found them kind of fun because they're just kind of an opposite of the football and baseball.
Yeah,
but hell yeah, basketball games are fun.
I'll get on and I don't mind the little golf games, the little by EA Sports, little Tiger Woods. I could sit there and hit a mulligan here and there, take it back, sit there and play golf all day. Not a big deal. But all the other games, man, what are some of the games that you like growing up? Remember that were just you had to have, or you and your buddies got together? Played all the time.
My first ever obviously just me. I had me some Marios, and I had Nintendo games. Don't get me wrong, but the first two sports games was Baseball Simulator. Remember when you could do the missile hit and the rocket hit and all that? There's only one boxing game to this day that ever matters. I don't give a shit how realistic they are. And it's Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. If you didn't either use the cheat code to get to Mike Tyson and get your ass kicked 19 million times just before you beat him the once, then you ain't living. Until you figured out how to fucking knock King Hippo out.
Yep.
It was, that dude, that was that. And then, of course, if you did not use Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl as the ultimate cheat code of all time, then you're not living right. Dude, that or just run, Joe Montana go run all the way to the other end of the screen and Jerry Rice 90 yards.
I had that was Tecmo Bowl was always a staple.
Yep.
Double dribble
Oh yeah.
was
Yep.
always a fun one. Of course, you had the Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, those classic games.
Excite Bike was
Uh,
one of my jams.
Absolute
Love
was the
me some
stuff,
Excite Bike.
man. You remember the game Contra?
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
love that game.
Hell yeah. Hey,
Let's see. Then you get up to a
I
little
was a
bit, and
I was a huge Zelda guy.
okay. I was not.
Huge,
It wasn't a
huge
big
Zelda guy.
Zelda. I was a big Donkey Kong guy.
When
I did
when
love me some that.
I think my full blown like video game stage is when Super Nintendo came out.
Oh yeah.
So when Super NES went out, it's when I think I went like full blown like went into my video game phase. So at the end of Nintendo, when for me it was like they had Tecmo Bowl and then Super Tecmo Bowl come out or Tecmo Super Bowl. So
Uh,
when I got Barry Sanders, it was done.
it was done.
It wasn't beating me at the old Tecmo Super Bowl. Then fast forward to Super Nintendo and NBA Jams. And
I was getting ready to say,
yep,
what about NFL Blitz?
NFL Blitz, Super Nintendo, like the Nintendo 64. As you get in there, we had
Yeah.
Blitz, Jams. We had Super Punch Out, Donkey Kong Country.
Mm-hmm.
Then, oh man, baseball. You started getting into some of those. Madden at that point was in there.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo 64. If you don't remember Ken Griffey Jr. baseball.
Oh yeah.
And then the
Oh
wrestling.
yeah.
I was a fucking huge wrestling game guy. Like WCW versus NWO.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more wrestling games came out, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta have these. But
Man.
dude, I was huge. I think I probably spent more time playing Tecmo Bowl, and then like once I got out of school, Tecmo Bowl made a reoccurrence. A buddy of mine named Ray Bender and Ray lived with me for a while, and we literally busted out the old Nintendo. And we rekindled the fire for Tecmo Bowl. Like, and this is early 20, like I'm maybe 21, 22 years old here at this point. And dude, we just tearing up. I think we wore that fucking game out.
Man.
But then NFL Blitz was amazing.
I remember
he's heating up.
You would sit there and it's like a Friday evening with your buddies. And you guys would just sit in your room. Man, pizza was ordered.
Yep.
It was throwing a game.
Yep.
And you were either playing, against each other, or you decided to be on the same team together.
Yep.
You would, man, those were some fun times, man. Those were some of the fun games.
And it's too funny because you're listening to keep that going. You're listening to Tupac's "All Eyes on Me" double CD, and you got one of your buddies on your first cordless phone on three-way, on three-way with the two girls down the street, seeing if you can sneak out or not.
Yeah.
And then dad's getting on the phone. Get off the phone. all the while, you and your buddy are in the background, fucking breaking controllers, ready to fist fight over who just hit the last three on fucking NBA Jams because he was on fire.
Oh. Man, that's when times were fun, and now it's like these guys have built their own consoles of gaming, stations in their rooms, and I'm like, we just needed a TV, two controllers, a little bit of caffeine drink,
right?
You're good to go.
Fuck, man, Braden out of nowhere. This was a couple years ago now. Braden's like, I want to make a gaming computer. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking like, we're gonna have to, get some help from his Uncle Trevor, who's into that stuff, and has one, and he's gonna take some time. No, he just orders all the parts. I order him the big expensive part he needs, the fucking hard line or hard drive or whatever it is.
Hard drive, yeah.
Yep. Order that. Says about 400 bad words because of what it costs. Gets it here, sits in, and he literally, I'll never forget it. He's sitting behind me at the time, gets all the shit out. He just got back from vacation, gets all the shit out, breaks it all around on the floor, and has this fucking gaming computer put together in like an hour and a half. And then he's just down here just gaining his ass off. The shit lights up. You can see inside of it. Does all sorts of fancy shit. It's got like a special fan, and I'm going, you don't blow on the cartridge no more and just stick it back in the machine. Smack the side
And
of
put
it.
it up and down a couple
Smack,
times.
yeah, smack the fucking side of it. You don't stick the
Uh,
game genie on that son of a bitch, and
yeah.
you're not watching The Wizard. Fred
No.
Savage and putting on the fucking Power Glove.
Man, I tell you what, we talk about the stuff like this, man. I'm sure it did. It brings back some fun memories of
Oh my
some
god.
buddies growing up. That it's crazy because it would. It's like, you'd be heading down to the park with your buddies, play a little. It was supposed to be two hand touch football,
Yep.
then end up in turning the tackle.
Oh
Or
yeah.
you go down there to the basketball court and you play a little basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Or you find an open field and you start, playing a little baseball.
Yep.
Then y'all would go over to someone's house, ride your bikes up,
Yep.
sit out there. Then you were sitting in front of the TV playing video games.
Eat.
It was time to go home at dinner time.
Yep.
I wish we could have those days back.
Fuck, I'd love it, man. Mom,
Yep.
everybody asking mom if everybody can stay the night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then mom's like, Jesus Christ, you guys got to stay in the basement and be quiet. I got to work in the morning.
Oh man.
Then about 3 a.m., you heard that, shut up! And we're like, shit. I remember, man, the first UFC, all of us watching the first UFC as kids and being like, oh.
How about we used to go to Blockbuster and be able to rent
Hell yes.
the UFC fights.
All the UFC fights.
Or the old wrestling pay-per-views that you couldn't see.
I rented them all 8 million times. I don't know how many times I watched Hogan and Ultimate Warrior get it on.
Oh.
Like the Hogan Warrior match, I bet you I watched that WrestleMania 17 million times.
But, did you happen to catch Elimination Chamber?
No. I was checking in on my phone. I really didn't like anything that they had going on there.
I tell you what, I did catch it today because, of course, it was 4 a.m. over there when it aired.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as much as I like wrestling, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. just to watch a PLE from WWE. That I sat there and watched it this afternoon. The women's elimination match, the women's match, was really good.
Yeah.
It kind of came down to who I thought it was going to come down to.
Yep.
I think with the Elimination Chamber, what was good about it is you already kind of knew that the script was written that it was going to be Becky and Rhea. I don't care what anybody says. The whole Rhea's going to Australia to face Nia Jax. She's walking out with the belt.
Yeah, you're not going to Australia, not losing.
Yeah, Australia, she's not leaving. Yeah, I will say this: the women highly impressed me. Don't get me wrong. Now, Naomi, I don't know why she was in that match. She botched City. Just like what she was in the Rumble.
Yep.
Just, Bianca had some, of course, she's becoming botchy Bianca to me.
Yeah.
It's something about it. But I'll tell you what, Tiffany Stratton stole the show for me.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan absolutely killed it.
Yep.
Becky Lynch is still Becky.
She's great.
Raquel Rodriguez, she did a pretty good job.
And
overall,
you know who Raquel Rodriguez is supposed to be, right?
Yeah, she with Braun Strowman.
Well, she was supposed to be Jade Cargill, and they pulled Jade. Yeah, they pulled her off.
Okay.
They didn't want her to lose going into WrestleMania.
I understand that.
Yep, they want to keep her. That. So yeah, they pulled her.
I think I see. I love Liv Morgan. Mm-hmm. I think she's very, very underrated. It was kind of like they're trying to almost turn her heel.
Yeah.
But out of the match, I give it about an 8.5, 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was really well.
Well, they
Uh,
needed that following the Rumble because the
yeah,
Rumble was not good.
yeah.
Yeah, the Rumble was not good.
I think it's kind of when you think of everybody who was in there. I said it was either going to have to be Bianca or Becky to kind of give that WrestleMania draw for real.
Yeah.
The absolute tag team match was absolutely great. That
Yeah.
was a great match. It was. I guess I forgot his name now. It used to be Butch when he was with
Pete
the
Pete Dunne.
yeah, Pete Dunne.
Yeah. Pete Dunne.
They actually the tag team belts have become kind of obsolete to me.
Yeah.
It's
They've kind
the
of buried them.
yeah. I think they've actually, but it was a great match all around. That was another one I'd give about a 8.5 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Um, I think they try to put Grayson Waller out there with his little show just because he's an Australian boy.
He's an idiot.
You're now. I think what they're trying to do, if like I said, is now they're trying to set up possibly Cody Rock night one, then Cody Roman night two,
Yeah.
because he kind of laid it out to The Rock anytime, any place. Let's do it. I think it's going to lead up to Cody Rock WrestleMania Night 1.
Yeah.
Uh, then you had, let's see, the men's Elimination Chamber match, which I think they you can starting to see who's going to be other matches in WrestleMania.
Yep. I know.
Uh,
I know they. I knew that. I knew going into it, like just seeing how everything was playing out going into it, you were going to get AJ and what's but LA
You're going to
Knight.
get
Yep.
you're going to get
You were
LA
going to get
Knight AJ. Because
KO and Dude again.
I I
Are you
I
going
don't
to get?
know.
Are you going to get Orton and him?
I think you're going to get Logan Paul and Orton because of the way the match ended.
Yep. I can
But
see that.
I don't know. I've said it. I said it at, when we talked about the Royal Rumble and kind of everything else. I think they're giving Drew his moment.
Do you
He's
think that?
kind of, to me, it's like he's finishing his story like Cody's
Yeah.
supposed to be finishing his. They're giving Drew his moment
Yeah.
when he wins. I think he's going to be one to win it,
Oh yeah.
but it's
Oh
going
yeah.
to be in front of the crowd, which he didn't
Right.
get.
Exactly.
I
And
think
he
he's
needs, Rollins needs to go heel.
yeah.
Rollins
I
wrestling with a torn ACL or an
well,
MCL or whatever it is.
I think uh, I think Drew's playing a pretty good damn heel right now.
He's great at it. Well,
Yeah,
you see what it does. It's great because if you give Drew the belt, you don't have a whole lot of short reigns anymore. Like
no,
everybody usually has the belt for an extensive amount of time.
yeah,
So it opens up a lot of opportunities for Drew to hold the belt for quite a while too.
mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't change the fact that, you fast forward to next year, if Punk gets healthy,
Uh-huh.
you see what they've already done. They've already like created it with the shirt and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and Punk
Yeah,
still being on the mic. You've already set up like it's coming. That
yeah,
they didn't sign that dude and he did get hurt, but
yeah,
they didn't sign that dude not to let him be in the Mania or to get his WrestleMania and him win a belt
yeah.
too again because people will lose their fucking mind for it just because it's
Uh,
must see TV. So at some point, whether it's him or not, they'll get them back in the fray again. And with Galloway as
yeah,
a heel, you got some cool or McIntyre. I don't know why I called him Galloway.
yeah,
He used to be Galloway, but you got a lot of cool openings for people there.
yeah.
You know.
I, I think I kind of wondered because then I thought you saw what happened. I was like, okay, there's your AJ Styles LA Knight WrestleMania match. They set that up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we would get KO and Logan Paul at WrestleMania for the U.S. belt. I
Mm-hmm.
have a feeling the way it ended. Now you have Randy. I think the Randy
Logan
Logan
Paul.
Paul may become a thing,
Yep.
but Randy looked like he took a bad spill.
Yeah, and that's what I
Um,
said. It looks like he's still hurting, man.
yeah,
Like,
he was. struggling a little bit.
I don't know if he'll ever be right again.
You know, so I don't know how that's going to play out. I think, you know, I look at the women's side. Of course, you're going to have Becky, um, Rhea. Then, of course, you have Bailey and Io.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like,
Bailey's gonna win.
yeah, she's going to have to have. She's
Yeah.
going to get her moment.
I
Finally.
don't know if they're gonna give Becky the belt.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think
it was. I think because you needed a name,
you
you
got to
needed a
have someone.
face, and that's why you can't give it to. Even though they were trying to say, like that whole Liv Morgan, they're trying to play the angle kind of.
Yeah.
She's the one. She took me out. I'm gonna take her out. I think her bringing her back at the Rumble was cool, but I think it's too soon to have her like jump right into the main event.
Exactly.
You know,
Well, right now
think,
too, it's hard because you got Rhea, who's supposed to be a heel, but she's the kind of heel that they all love her.
They love. She kind of has that stone cold sense. Like
exactly. So you have to find somebody that like everyone genuinely doesn't like.
Now, I think they told the story of basically Nia being the just manhandling everybody. I think she pretty much manhandled Rhea 90% of the match. And then, of course, she got her window and turned it around and took the win in Australia in front of her family, which I think everybody knows she was walking out of that with the belt.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
It's just I worry about on the women's side now is where you're going to. I wish they would eliminate the women's tag team title belts.
Yeah, they're kind of pointless.
I think, and add in like a women's mid card belt, like a U.S. championship belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to have something for, that instead of the tag team title belts, because I think the tag teams are they're watered down.
Yeah, it's not good stuff.
The even the men's side, it's like you need to separate them.
Well, it's hard because you don't have a lot of good tag teams anymore. You broke up the Usos are broke up. The New Day can't have the titles for 20 years.
No.
All these other tag teams are like singles wrestlers being tag teams. Like Priest and Finn Balor. Finn Balor should have a belt, not a tag team belt.
Yeah, he needs.
He gets another guy that gets just him and Sami Zayn just get shit all over on all the time. They're great workers, but there's not really any tag teams, and that's where I hate to say this, but that's where AEW's kind of the one thing AEW's got going.
Like they got like 20 belts.
Yeah, and they got some serious tag teams like FTR's there, the Young Bucks are there.
Yeah,
they've got some actual legit tag teams. Hardy Boys are there.
I think I think we're losing any kind of the money in the bank. I think we're losing that nostalgia of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a year now since this has happened that he's held the briefcase.
Yep. And he can't use it on Roman
and I still think I see, like we talked about before, I can kind of see Drew pinning Seth and then him coming out and taking it away from Drew.
Yeah. I mean,
I see that angle. Because in reality, with the tag team belts, you're losing that steam with Damian. Like,
yeah.
Of course, I don't know if you paid attention. Now they're got your match of brother and brother, the Usos.
About time.
They set it up. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping, God, you need to put a belt on Jay right now.
Oh yeah, he's over like a lot.
Yeah, he's way over.
Yep.
But then it's like, who do you have now that will go against Gunter? Who's out there? Like he said it, you know, who's out there? Who's left?
I'd love for fucking Strowman to get his ass back so he can get them
Oh,
hands.
get them hands.
So Strowman come back. That'd be cool. I can watch that. I think they got to give R-Truth a push.
I think they are.
I think it'd be great.
I think but it's like, I was, if I had to give the Elimination Chamber, I'd give it a B. I
Yeah.
would give it a B. It was. I mean, the matches were good. I think both the men and the women's were good. I think, God, I guess my understanding is they were talking about it was, you could tell in the men's that over there in Australia it was like 100 degrees all week long.
Jesus Christ.
Now, when you saw, if you like the men's match, at the end of the match,
You
you saw sweat stains everywhere.
Yeah.
But man, other than that, man, I'm kind of, now it's like, now they got a little over 4 weeks to tell stories.
Yep.
To lead up. Like I said, I'm curious to see how this, with Cody saying something about Rock, I'll fight you anytime, any place. That's not going to lead up to, you're not going to lead up to SummerSlam for that.
No, I still think you got. I feel like we're getting a double heel turn. We're gonna get that double. Like Rock's gonna go back. He'll cost Roman, and then it'll be on.
Yeah,
I feel like
I think it's going to be something like, maybe like I said, he faces Cody night one, and Jimmy and Solo come out, and he gets a little pissed off about that.
Yep.
And then that causes the night two, that causes the turn.
Right.
Of course, everybody's reading into it. I love listening to some of the podcasts out there, wrestling podcasts, and their takes on.
I don't want him to do Daniel Bryan too, where he beat Batista and then beat Triple H in the same night.
No.
Or whoever it was.
I would love to see him lose. Let him lose to Rock night one.
Yep.
And then have him defeat Roman night two.
Yep.
So that way you have The Rock getting his time to shine, and then you have Cody.
Or, the other thing they could do is they could always have Rock getting ready to beat Cody, and Roman come out and stop him from beating Cody. And that could be the heel turn you need right there.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, oh, no, you're not beating Cody, I'm beating Cody type deal. And then the next night it caused all the ruckus, and then you've got Rock and Roman set up for whatever, whenever.
Yeah. I like I said, I think they did well with setting up the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, for WrestleMania. I still go, where's Solo playing all this? It's a little, now you just seem like you're the Rock and Roman's bodyguard. That's all you're good for.
Yeah, it's like, are you going to be like the dude, or what's going to be there?
So he has, like, if you watched it, and I'm sure you think, he does have a lot of Umaga in him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think
exactly who reminds me of.
Way better.
No, I agree.
But yeah, man, I didn't know if you've seen it. I ended up watching it. I kind of stayed off social media a little bit, so even if I just saw the two matches, kind of see what stories they were going to tell.
Yeah,
I think they did a great job. I think the women did a great job, and I'm sorry, I may be the only one who's biased about it. I don't think Naomi should be in any of these matches yet.
Man, I don't know.
I say give her NXT run.
I do too. I say
send her down to NXT, let her have an NXT run. Kind of like Baron Corbin.
That's nothing wrong with that.
She
needs to learn some more. When she left too, it's not one of those. That was the least bit I wouldn't even say. I'm like, okay, bye. I mean,
yeah.
She wasn't, I never thought she was very good anyway. So, I don't know how they're,
I
but you know,
didn't.
I think they're just trying to figure out who's the next thing or who's ready, and
Well, I tell you what, that Tiffany Stratton,
that's she heading that
she
direction.
she looked good. Like I mean, it was the way she handled herself in the ring, the way she handled herself with this, like Becky, even Liv. You know, Raquel Rodriguez looked. She looked pretty good, not too bad. I mean, there's not a lot you can do with a if you're not overpowering like Rhea
Yep.
or Nia. You're just kind of like, to me. I think that's what hurts Braun Strowman a
Hmm.
lot is you come in and you're supposed to dominate. Like
Yep.
now, people don't want to see
That's
domination all
different.
the time.
Yeah, they don't want to see that
I
anymore.
mean and if you go back in history, that's why a lot of people said that's why they didn't want the title on Andre the Giant
Yep. Because it's just
because
like
it was like who's going to beat him? Like
right,
no one in reality could beat him, so it was hard to put the title on him.
right.
I think it's hard to put the
Title
title on
defender.
Braun. It's like you have Bianca, who's muscular, bigger than like your Liv Morgans, everybody else, the Becky's.
Hmm.
Charlotte's that 6 foot athletic. When she
Yep.
gets back,
Built like a brick shit house.
you have Rhea and Raquel just kind of falls to the bottom of that.
Yep.
You know, but
We need Sasha
I,
Banks back.
do they?
They need
You think
Sasha Banks
so?
back. No, I think so. I love Sasha Banks.
I I like her. Um,
I would like to see
I
her
think
come. I need her back, and I would love to see what's her name get once her little taking care of the baby situation when she's off of maternity leave. Uh,
Alexa Bliss.
uh-huh.
Well, I go if you ever notice that they were like I see Alexa Bliss, um, who's the little Puerto Rican gal now.
I know you're talking about that's with the Selena Vega.
Yeah, Selena Vega.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those girls are kind of like what came from right after were good. They came after that Divas era
Yeah. Oh yeah.
where they were like the Divas era was absolutely the worst to me.
Yeah, that was bad.
You had some women in there that could wrestle,
Yeah.
but then you had the smaller girls like Selena. You had
You had Playboy model.
Alexis. Now these girls are
They're big.
Charlotte, Bianca.
Yeah.
Like
Jade Cargill.
I
Huge.
watch it. Yes,
She's
I
huge.
watch a
Jordan
match
Grace.
with a Selena Vega, and she hits the ropes, and the ropes don't bend. Like,
Right. Yep. The tiny ones. See, that would be
yeah,
like if he had that other belt. That would be perfect for them.
yeah. So, like I always said too, I think it would be fun. Like you put a mid cart belt on like a Liv Morgan,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I'd watch
let
that.
her go about with those people.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That wouldn't be bad.
you will have. I mean, even put one on. One belt on SmackDown, one on Raw. I mean, because
I'd take
you
it.
Oscar, you used to have.
Oscar's awesome. Oscar's
Yeah,
gonna kill you.
I so
Did my
it's.
wife miss my head?
Man, I don't know. I
Looks like she kind of
missed the spot.
did. Had the old lady trim me up.
Ah, hey man.
Camera don't
I
lie. Camera don't
yeah,
lie.
but I don't know, man. Like other than that, like I said, it's football's kind of a down period right now.
Yep.
Um,
Getting draft ready.
Draft
Combine's
ready.
coming. You got
Kelsey was out in Australia too. He had to
yep.
go support old Swifty.
Now,
Uh,
do you ever mess with sports cards at all?
no,
No. So
no,
check this out. You see that?
nice.
Yeah. So that there shiny bastard. See that? So
Yeah.
I still dabble.
Uh huh.
I don't buy a lot anymore, but you know, growing up, I was a huge cards guy, like
I
huge
was
card guy.
too. Yeah,
And then
I had a. I was say
the
I had a hell of a collection until we
yeah.
had a basement flood and ruined all my cards.
Oh, see,
And then
that's
and
brutal.
ever since after that, I just kind of
Well,
quit doing it.
they died in the 80s and 90s, like 90s especially. They just overproduced everything, and
Yeah.
like they call it the junk era.
Uh huh.
So Grizz is huge into it. Like has a
Okay.
ball
Yeah.
card shop,
Yeah.
yeah, and then uh, Stump
Uh huh.
Stump's huge into it.
Uh huh.
Po
The PO's into it.
Canuck used to be. I think he still might buy the boys some stuff,
Uh huh.
but it's funny. So I stay in a little bit, but nothing like that. But it's kind of my opposite gambling fix
Uh huh.
because it's essentially like the same thing. So
Yeah.
when COVID hit, like everything went nuts, like
Yeah.
because you couldn't go do anything. So the hobby went crazy, and like graded cards had came out years before that, and like everything has gotten nut stuff, right? So
Yeah.
there's pieces of jerseys and autographs, and it's
Yeah.
all it's a monopoly now. No one collects cards just because
Yeah.
anymore. You don't see that,
Kind of
but
like
so
shoes.
yeah, exactly. So every once in a while, I'll go and snatch up some. I don't do it a lot. I'll buy some berries I didn't have
Yeah.
on eBay. I'll just kind of go get some stuff that I want to keep. So like when I die, like if Braden wants it or my nephew Gibson wants it,
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that. That just or stuff that was like meant something to my brother when he got
Uh
had to
huh.
sell all his. So like I bought a 75 tops Brett rookie that used to be one of his favorite cards, and then
Uh huh.
I think he had to sell all of his cards at one point. So I bought that and keep it just in case. Someday I'll give it back to him if he wants it.
Uh huh.
I remember my very first baseball card I ever got was an 87 Topps Future Stars Bo Jackson.
Uh huh.
And he gave it to me because my brother played at Iowa Western there in Clarinda,
Uh huh.
played baseball there, and we went up to watch him one time. My mom took me when I was little, my grandma and my mom went, and he gave me that for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I had it forever. Well, it got all fucked up, over the years. So, that card always meant something to me, so I got another one. Obviously, it's not
Mhm.
worth anything, but just kind of nostalgia sticker shit like that. So, when you go to Walmart these days, you used to be able to buy boxes of cards at Walmart all the time, like
Yeah.
retail
Yeah.
blaster boxes and shit, and they were 15, $20. Now
Now
the
they're probably
average
like
one is 30
50,
bucks.
60.
Yeah, 30 to
Yeah.
60 to 75. So, and you have all those assholes going there and like weigh the packs with a scale in their pocket, or like they'll
Really?
damage. Yeah, oh yeah, or they'll damage a box because they know they've got ways to figure out when the like hits are in them and shit. Or they'll have somebody on the inside that stocks the WalMarts and let them know when all the cards are going to be there, and they'll buy like
Man,
all of the packs of the shit and stuff.
that's some serious shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it blows my mind. Like dude, and it made me think. It's if we ever want to hear you ever want to hear something fascinating. I bet if we got Grizz and stuff to talk about that shit.
Uh huh.
Grizz has the card shop. They could tell you some crazy shit,
Yeah.
like how ball cards work. But anyway, funny thing about this is, so we went to Walmart today. Ashley was getting her oil changed, and we had to run and get some groceries. And I grabbed just a blaster box of retail football Donruss
Uh
because they
huh.
had one, and I was shocked they had it. So I'm just going through the pack strip and I'm looking for Lions. Trying to
Yeah.
get just base cards that I'll shits and gigs, and I get about 3 packs in, and I flip. I don't know why I flipped the pack over the other way to see what was in the back,
Uh huh.
and this sumbitch is staring at me,
Wow.
and I said, "Oh hey," and I was like, "Oh shit," and Ashley's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Holy shit," and I'm like, "Well, I probably just made my money back," and she's like, "What?" And I got on fucking eBay and showed her.
Uh huh.
This sumbitch is like $400.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, well, all right. But now I'm vexed because it's Mahomes.
Uh
So now I don't know if I want to sell it or not.
huh.
And if you notice,
Oh,
it's got the ketchup bottle on it.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a rare downtown hit from a Donruss. So I don't know how rare they are because you see a lot of them online, but I
Yeah.
know they're tough to hit, and I know guys will bust about 1 million retail boxes and spend $1,000 to buy all the boxes and pull one. and don't get shit. And here I was just naturally, hey, here's a box. Opened it up. I'm like, well, fuck, that's just like me hitting the jackpot at the casino. So got kind of
Well,
tickled by that. That was my excitement of my day.
you threw some names out there, and I felt bad because last week when we did the show, and we kind of forgot that that was the weekend of the Midwest USSSA Hall of Fame banquet.
It was. It
So,
was.
with that, I got to give some shouts out to some guys that we've known in the game. You know,
A
Big
lot of
Daddy Jeff,
congrats in order.
Big Daddy Jeff Smith. Congratulations, my friend.
Your daddy.
Um, Jake Graber was a congratulations. Of course, Nuck. Our guy.
Well
Um,
deserved.
Hump.
Yes,
Hump was
sir.
in. Congratulations to Hump. Let's see. Russ Pitts. I don't know if you remember Russ. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Russ Pitts a little bit.
Yep.
Let's see.
My Columbia man.
Let's see. From the Missouri side, you had Kevin Bazat, or however they pronounce his name.
Yep.
Uh,
Turkey or
P.O.
bust, boys. P.O. Had a boy.
P.O. won a specialty award as an inductee, which he was been around the game for a long time. And there was one I know of, Big Sal Orlando out of St. Louis, who has been around the game for a long time out there. Much congrats to those guys and everybody else who was inducted. I know I felt bad because last week we did the show and forgot to give them a shout out. And I know some of them, like when we, you know, said congrats to Nuck when he did the show, he was just kind of very nonchalant about it. So
It's an honor, man. That's
when you think about the game of slow pitch in our area,
Mm-hmm.
and you see, I don't know how much you paid attention to Hall of Fame or who's been in, that you may know already.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I know like Sid has been inducted that you, of course,
Yep.
amongst many others. But who along the time now is coming up that you have seen that within the next couple of years you see going into that Hall of Fame? And I'd love to get KO back on here to kind of. I know they already have a way they go through it, but some of the names that were around here that
Mm-hmm.
have paved the way, as far as that, and to get in there, and whether it's female, male, I mean, who are some of the ones would you recommend?
Are we going just influential or as players or both?
Do both. Let's say
Okay.
if KO called us up,
Whoa. Whoa.
obviously Dave, who do you think influential or playing wise would you set to the Hall of Fame? And because we're about, like I said before, we're about that generation where a lot of the guys now we know are coming to the end of their career,
Mm-hmm.
or who are still playing, hitting that senior circuit, or no longer playing, altogether. Like,
Yeah. Well, obviously the first two. I mean,
oh, hold on, I forgot this one. Caddy.
Caddy.
Caddy was inducted. My brother, I forgot Caddy. I don't know how I forgot Caddy.
Hell yeah.
Caddy was inducted also. So, sorry to interrupt, but I forgot all about Caddy, man.
Flip's already in, right?
Flip is already in.
Flip's already in. I mean, obviously, they God rest their souls are not here to see it or be a part of it, but their families would. Bob Guerra and Cassius would be my first two.
Okay.
The Northland side, Cassius especially, because I don't think a lot of people on the other side of, well, some of them do now, but I don't think anyone knows how instrumental, like, or really realizes how instrumental he was in bringing to the new era and the old era together to make what you have now. So his introductions of people in softball and talent, eye for talent's insane. So that, and the fact he was a bad motherfucker on the field too didn't hurt anything.
Yeah.
And just one of all of our softball guys, probably one of the best characters. Like everybody I remember is because they were some kind of a character, whether it was a good guy, a bad guy. Cash is always gonna be that. Bobby G, because Jesus Christ, I mean, it might have been ASA softball, but Bobby G, I don't remember being anywhere at any tournament where I didn't see Bob Garrett pop up or be a part of it. So Bob obviously would be one. As far as players go, God, we could go on for days.
Yeah.
Bedell, I know he's a pain in the butt. I know, but
I'm talking about, but when I
player wise, as far as
player wise, as far as
influential,
where they went up as far as the highest level they played.
Tolbert.
Okay.
Yeah, Tolbert. I mean, Tolbert's still playing, but Tolbert would have a real hard time not being. Yeah, because I don't know if anybody's got that high of a level. Have they? Or is she the?
Well, as far as females,
yeah. I mean, there's some, but
she's.
I think.
Go ahead. So Tolbert would be one that you would.
That would be one. Guy wise, Loomis would be on there if he's not already.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch would be one where I think he's been around the block. Everyone knows him. He's never. I mean, if he was an asshole, he's never an asshole to me.
Yeah.
He's part of. I always kind of the Hump crew.
Yeah.
So I kind of that whole all the syndicate guy, they all kind of.
I mean, if you're gonna put Sid in, and you're gonna put
well, that's what I'm saying.
You might as well put Loomis in.
Yeah. I mean, Mitch is kind of part of that. You.
Nah.
Yep.
Nah.
Yep. I mean, I don't give a shit how of it. I don't, and I guess it's how. I guess I know they see it. It sounds bad. They see it at a different thing than we would. Like our perception of what's a Hall of Famer. I get how they do it and it's totally. I respect it and it's awesome. But to me, there's from a normal guy looking at it, influence over the game, and what truly is a Hall of Famer. It would be hard to leave you out. There's a lot. Hudson on the field, I don't know if I would, but as far as influential,
very influential.
I mean, I don't think anyone has been. He's had an impact.
I think
a massive impact. Is Mama in yet?
No, she should be.
Big Mama's not in yet.
Dana and I already said if we go in, we're going in together.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, I thought. Well, there's a shot for me. I thought, swear to God, she'd be in there already.
I will tell you this. I know you said there's one name that you probably would not. When I say it, you'll say, "I think Toby Lee Tech should be the next one to go in."
Oh, Toby, absolutely.
Toby has done. He has worked his butt off from playing D-ball all the way up to where he did. I believe he has him a world ring himself. Played at the highest level. When you think of influential people, I may be wrong, and something I have to look up. I thought Bob Garrett was inducted, but if he hasn't, I believe Bob should go in.
Yeah.
I believe Tolbert as a player should go in as being one of the first females in the area on the Missouri side. Now, granted, there's still a lot of St. Louis that maybe we don't remember so much.
Yeah.
I will say this because she played at a very high level real quick, and a lot of people think Megan Miller on the women's side for Kansas would be one who should eventually get into the Hall of Fame plus of what she does as far as being influential on what she does.
For sure.
I love him to death. I work for the guy. You have to say, as an influential part of the game itself, what he created with Berserk Athletics is James. For the fact is now you have so many people who try to emulate what he did in our area. And I'm not knocking those other companies. I never will.
No, he's
But there are levels to it, and you got to understand the level where he is taking it.
Oh yeah.
Um, at the
And
same,
Hudson's, it's not hard to be like, much like hitting videos. Uh-huh. Hudson definitely was the guy.
yeah,
So, and he has remained the guy and will always, to me, like, there's no, and kudos for him, what do they say what's it, the best form of flattery?
imitation.
Yep. And
Yeah,
I'm not calling in, not knocking into y'all to do your jerseys. Great by you. I'm
yeah,
glad that Hudson gave you all the confidence and gave you all the inspiration to go out and do it on your own. And for you, those of you guys that have been successful, shout out to you for doing so. And
yeah.
those of you that have failed, shout out for having the nuts to try it.
To try it, I will
And
say that.
and what you will learn is there are guys like James that don't take no for an answer and have the drive and persistence and will go through every kind of challenge there is to make
Yeah,
sure that he has
yeah,
the best of it and does it right, and
yeah,
that should be rewarded for sure
yeah,
for that. And
yeah.
that's not an easy task. And he's been smart
There,
enough to surround himself with the right people as well.
there are a lot of names um, that are younger than me who I've kind of see where they've come and where they've taken it. That eventually, I think they'll be put in. For what he's done too. I think
Oh, like Barry should
Barry
absolutely
should
be
be
in the
in.
Hall of Fame. I always look at it and I say, and the reason I say Odell is I guess I look at it not for what level they got to, but like for
The,
me, I don't know how to explain it. You love him
yeah,
or hate him. I don't give a shit about any of that. As far as just like consistently playing the game
uh-huh,
for as long as he has and
yes, yeah,
being successful at it on the field, not
yeah,
all the other bullshit. We all go
yeah,
through it, but
yeah,
in general,
yeah,
I say that's what made me say that because I always think of guys when, like I said, it's just perception of Hall of Fame. I think of guys that I'm like, if I was going to have a Hall of Fame, like I look at it like baseball players. Like if it just
yeah, oh
dudes that
yeah,
just consistently
yeah.
put up fucking, you're like, this motherfucker's bad. He's a bad
Uh,
motherfucker. He's gonna, he would be on the list. Barry for sure. And Toby and Barry, like I guess I don't say them because, like to me, that's an afterthought. Like they're already.
yeah, yeah,
I'm.
yeah.
It's kind of like,
Uh,
how the fuck are they not already? Or what?
there's some younger guys. I'm trying to think off top of my.
I can
I'm
name.
sure like
I know a younger guy right off the top of my head that is well on his way.
who's that?
Yeah, oh, man, this Connor guy. You ever heard of him?
Like I said, there you go.
You ever heard of this Connor guy?
There
Also
you go.
one of the most awesome, respectful, fucking cool dudes I've ever had
Yeah,
the pleasure of before I stopped playing, getting to play ball with on a team and getting to play against, and then just getting to chop it up with at a ball field.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
dude's legit in every way.
Here is one, and I'm sure it may because of what he's done in the game lately and the
Mm-hmm.
teams that he's put together. Is you got to throw Doug out there.
Oh, Bootown, for sure.
Yeah,
Bootown, I'm
I
telling you,
think
huge influence in it. Hump Part 2.
he, yeah, he has had a lot of influence. That I think another one, regardless of how you feel about him, that should eventually be in there would be Mike Brown. You can't
That's
what
another
he's
one
done.
that, like, to me, it's already,
Yeah,
I can't believe,
you know,
I guess because he's still playing.
yeah.
Is
When I
that, like,
think
the criteria?
When I think of our area, like I said, there's guys from the Springfield area.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
real influential. There's guys from the St. Louis area. I think St. Louis gets forgotten about a lot. There's
does
guys
Cam,
way out in West Kansas that in Wichita get forgotten about.
is
So
there, like, do
um,
they have like, a criteria to when they start making you, like, eligible?
I have no idea how they do it.
That's, you know what I mean? Because
I'd
that's,
be interested to find out. I think she has a few of the committees that, because like to me when you say about it, like I know Dana, of course, Big Mama lover, co-worker, boss, whatever you want to call.
Yeah,
She has ran many teams and been around the community forever.
forever.
To me, she is someone that I think gets overlooked because nowadays it's become real popularity contest. Um,
Big
you
Mama's a
know,
pillar of softball is what blows my mind. It's
yeah.
not.
Uh,
It's that one just floors me.
it's just like when you think about it and think of women like Kibby, Jennifer Kiblinger, who
Yeah,
ran great teams,
Mal.
co-ed teams. Mal, that's
Yeah,
another
Mal.
one that to me is I don't understand the criteria what they fit, but when you think of what they've done for the women's game in the area, and what they did for like the co-ed scene in the area, those are some names that eventually I think whether it be 5 years, 10 years, should be names that should be brought up automatically.
Yeah.
And then it's like to me, it's like when you think next year, 5 years from now, like Toby, you think Barry, whether whatever it is, like yeah, you have PO, and then and then some of those young guys who started on Nellies who went up and kept the Nellies together.
Harley.
Harley, I know a lot of people hate him. A lot of people don't care for him.
And you want
It
to
is what it is, but
you.
he could be one of those 10 years from now get talked about being in the mid
This is one of those.
Midwest USA Hall of Fame. So
This is kind of piggybacking off that, but I guess it makes me laugh. So we talk about, we named a couple, not notorious names, but
uh
some debatably over the years, not the most charming feller favored
yeah,
people there.
yeah,
And I always think that's funny because the guys that I didn't get along with were always so opposite of the guys that everybody else didn't get along with.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I mean, maybe it's because I wasn't the most fucking loved person the whole time, And sorry for not having a filter, and still to this day, fuck you. But TMB to me, I love like. Now sometimes I thought TMB's antics were crazy,
Yeah.
but when I played with like anytime I played on a team with TMB or was with like hanging out with TMB and bullshitting, TMB was always
Uh-huh.
cool as fuck with me. Like, I get it. You're good at shit, but at the same time, I didn't
Well,
see none of that. I never got to see none of the like TMB antics that bad, like taking that
yeah,
crazy, except for one
yeah.
time. And
I think
but I never had
it's
an issue there.
I think
Bedell,
what the problem is it becomes a how you carry yourself.
I get it. I get it.
I think there's got to be a criteria to where like I said, I don't know what the criteria is, how high you've gone up in the game,
Mm-hmm.
as far as what you accomplished in the game. Because if that's the case, then I go, you take a young lady named Brandy Clifton who
Absolutely.
was around the game for a long time and
Yeah.
won. If I could be wrong with this, but won multiple world tournaments
Yep.
with different teams and has played at the conference level. Um, so it like to me it goes that way. Like I said, I think what it boils down to is what kind of I hate to say it, but it's like who type thing.
Right. Yeah. That's. I
And,
guess.
and, and it's that's why I said it's like when you think of slow pitch, even though both of us have played it, it becomes it's real high schoolish,
Oh my god.
very who's popular, who's not type thing.
Oh, and the
Uh,
stories and the fucking stories people will make up.
yeah.
The stories they'll make up.
Um, there's people who've been shunned out.
Yeah. I
There's
can see
people
that.
who's walked away. There's people who um, you know that have helped create stuff when they walked away,
Yep.
and now it's taken off, and it's like it floors me how I will say this absolutely floors me like when the 40 and over scene started out we had 3 teams in the area. But yet, of those 3 teams, they had the Missouri. What's that? What they call that cup?
Yep.
The whatever they play.
Yeah, down in Florida.
Yeah, down in Florida where they kind of all represent the states.
Yep.
That you mean to tell me that there's been a couple guys on those teams that were not put on those teams or represented as a coach, as a scorebook keeper, as a guy who was a part of the inaugural getting all this 40 and over division started. And I'm not saying like, you know, like who I know is you mean to tell me like someone like Yaya from St. Louis,
Yeah.
who was a big part of having a team and putting together teams to make sure that some of those 40 and over teams that were not a part of that decision
Mm-hmm.
of who, in which, the Challenge Cup
Yep.
and how it has become a popularity contest.
Yep.
It's, to me, it's like almost like the Pro Bowl type shit.
Yep.
Like in reality.
I get it because I always and I'm out of the gate. I don't care. I'm out of it.
I'm out of it too, so I don't
I
give
know.
a shit.
That's why we can have this conversation. I don't give a fuck. What cracks me up about it all is I don't doubt. I see that, and I only coached, we all know I coached the Green Space Girls for a year, and that was great. Uh, I got to see women's ball in a whole different light, and
Yeah,
the young girls coming up now. I don't know any of them. I can admit that, and
yeah.
I'll always be biased to my girls that were there because I think that, to this day I will argue with
Which
anybody they were the
there's
best
going
ones.
to should be a few number of girls on that team
Absolutely,
that
that
could
team.
eventually
Yeah, that
end
team's
up
got several to me.
being, because where they are playing at conference wise,
Yep.
that should be considered that
Yep.
10 years from now, 15 years down the line,
Yep.
whenever they decide to hang it up, they should, if you fit that criteria and what they've done,
Right.
that they should
Yep.
fall into this slow pitch world of Hall of Fames.
Exactly. I agree. But I see their little challenge. Like I shouldn't say they're little, but I see the Challenge Cup teams,
Yeah.
and like I don't have a pot to piss in because I don't know any of the young girls, but
Yeah.
I see some of them, and it's hard for me not to sometimes
Say
already go
so and
where
so
the
is better.
where the fuck is so and so at,
Yeah.
or how in the fuck are you going to have this and not have this person, this person, this person? I
Yeah.
don't care if you're carrying a fucking 42 person roster. Like
I
how
I
you
I
don't include this one, this, and you ain't got to fucking like them one bit. But if you go
yeah.
out on the field with them, if they're going to help you fucking win, and
Yeah.
that's what you're really going down there. If you're going to go represent the state and you're going down there to fucking win,
Yeah.
then I don't have to fucking like you.
Yeah. I agree.
A couple of the best teams I played on, and I'm sure you have too. We weren't the best by any means, but your last Izzy team that we were on, I'm sure there was a couple people, and you know as well as I do that we might not have been the most fucking fond people of each other,
Yeah.
in and out sometimes, or on turkey tourney teams, some of the guys that the higher up guys,
Yeah.
when I would play with them, there were a couple of them that I didn't necessarily find appealing to hanging out with or having beers.
But they loved having those turkeys to eat.
But fucking A right, and or any other tournament, it's and some of those Challenge Cup teams, I look at them
I
like,
get it. I get it because it could also come down to conflict of schedule.
oh, there's
You
a
don't know.
ton
I'm
of
sure
different
like
things.
you don't know if someone was asked just can't do it.
Yeah,
Things like that. The
I love to
concept
see.
of the
Yeah,
Challenge Cup is, I guess it's cool. It's
yeah,
something to do, get you ready, pumped up for the off season. But I go, and I'm not picking on, but like when you think of when they have a D Cup, a D Challenge Cup team,
yeah,
and you got 12 guys from the metro area,
yeah,
You mean to tell me out of those 12 guys, there's not at least 5 of those guys that couldn't come from St. Louis, or 3 of those guys that could have came from Joplin, Springfield, or a couple of those guys that couldn't come up from St. Joe, or Jeff City, Columbia area. Like,
Well, and it answers the question for that when if there's guys that probably should have came from those areas, you just look at one of the big local tournaments when they have it, and when you see a team full of those guys or a couple of those guys absolutely fucking rickroll
yeah,
the local team, and you're like, I guess the 4 or 5 guys in that area just aren't good enough to get on this team, type of shit. It's
I will say this that I noticed the game of slow pitch in the area was starting to become more and more political. It became more of that. Who scratched? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I was about enjoying the competition, enjoying some of the things that went on. When I ran some teams, I had people didn't like the way I was running them, and I'm just like, dude, it's slow pitch softball.
Right. At the
And
end of
they
the day,
would complain is why you should just coach. Why are you hitting?
right.
Because I paid $20 like everybody else.
My thing too, and you know how it is, man. You know how everything with me, man. All I ever wanted to do was put together a group of my buddies,
Yeah,
and and
I think that's what got away from it.
yep. And I found when I found someone that was talented, get them on a team, and if they didn't stay with us, so be it. Especially in co-ed, I mean, you look at the roster I had for Beards and Boobs, and girl wise, you talk, holy shit, and that was early on in most of their time, and that's
It
blossomed
was
well. But
the
you look at how all that shit went, and all the bullshit about it. And at the end of the
yeah
day, man, all I was trying to do was put together teams and have fun. So all that other drama and bullshit that comes with it, I was just it fucking made me hate it, which
yeah.
broke my heart because I loved it, and
It,
so much
well,
bullshit came out of that. Just and everywhere you go with it, like you said, political. Like
it
some of the shit that
I,
comes out, you're like, what?
I think what killed me, and I will say this is the most overhyped, overused word in slow pitch softball's family.
Oh, it's dog
Because I
shit.
can tell you right now, when I walked away, I can name maybe one of my teammates
Yeah.
of the team I walked away from that may still contact me from time to time. That's
Right.
it. One out of we
Yeah.
had 13 guys.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, like being cordial and seeing each other or something, say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Yada,
Yeah.
yada. Like, but, don't say, that's why I would say, man, don't call me family, man, because I got my family. I
Right.
ain't trying to be an asshole about it. Like, me and you, we had a friendship just outside of,
Uh-huh.
outside of softball. Softball was just kind of like
It
icing
was
on the
there.
cake with us.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
there.
it
It was
was
awesome.
playing league nights, played a few tournaments. I mean, hell,
Some
we
we
worked
do.
together.
Yep.
We hung
Some we
out
do.
together. We did that stuff. So it's not like we shared up moments. We shared down moments. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like I have a few that to this day that I stay in contact with. But to me, it's a lot like when I graduated high school.
Uh-huh.
I had I had someone make a comment on a old Facebook post. Why didn't you go to the reunion? I'm sorry, I don't go to them.
Right. Me neither.
Not,
I'm like,
nothing against like any of you people. Like I love following you on Facebook. I love keeping up with you. But just because that doesn't mean I want to go to a school reunion.
no,
Like
hell no.
I had, and here's the funny part is at one we were going to celebrate I think it was our 20th or 15th or something like that. And so they started a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
And then like people started going back and forth about like controlling it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is why I ain't gonna go. I'm going ahead and
Yep.
leave this group. Like,
Yep.
I hope you guys have fun. I'll find something better else there. I was planning on going. I mean, here we are supposed to be grown ass adults, but yet we're still acting like we were in high school. Like, grow the
Right.
fuck up. Like, I
Right.
don't get it. So, yeah, man, that's how I feel about slow pitch sometimes. Like,
Oh, I
you know,
like I said, we've talked about this. I miss like playing. Don't get me wrong, like the competitive part of it.
yeah,
I miss talking shit with the boys, and I miss the days with
yeah,
them. But you know, and their memories I'll always have. But
yeah,
it's like you said, I think I can count on probably maybe one hand, like
yeah,
who I still talk to or whoever talks to me. And I'm one of those guys that, I'll reach out to you, but you could just as easy reach out to me. And if
yep.
you don't, that's fine.
Now,
I don't take it personal.
and
But
here's like the crazy part is, I'm fortunate to be a part of the company I'm with
mm-hmm,
because of slow pitch softball.
for sure,
Now, did we all, James and I, used to hang out and all that stuff at times? Yes. Guess what? He has a family. He has kids that are active.
mm-hmm,
I have a family. I have kids that are active and doing other things. Do I miss sometimes just him and I being able to like just sit down, have a drink, and be like on the friendship level,
mm-hmm.
and not it being about like work sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool, but it's like love him to death, man. And I love Ashley to death and their kids, and that's always someone that I'm always considered, no matter what, that are people that are someone who's important to me in my life. You
right,
know, like I said, like with you and I, it's that point of yeah, we're sharing this together. And I absolutely enjoy it, man. And it's like we're doing that, but people don't realize it wasn't just softball that brought us together. Like we
no,
worked
not at
together,
all,
we were
for
hanging
sure.
out
Yeah,
together outside of
there's
stuff. It's like,
yeah, there's a story there.
yeah, there's a story
Yeah,
there.
there's a story
I
there.
don't have that with many.
Yeah,
Uh, when it came to outside of that, I have, like Big Mike Childs. There was a story there
yeah,
and stuff like that. Now, there's a lot of them that I thought we would have those stories.
mhm,
Not,
right,
you know, like it's one of those things. I've lost what I considered friends over this silly game.
mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy how the
I
minute you
lost.
walk away from something
Yep,
that I know the phone works two ways,
yep,
but it's when you walk away, they just kind of say, nah.
yep, for sure.
Or here's always the fun one for me is how about these people who friend you on Instagram or Facebook and Twitter or any other kind of social media forum, but yet when they see you face to face,
Don't say shit to you.
they don't say shit to you.
Don't say a word to you. Yep, yep, and that's
Like
crazy.
crazy.
Yep.
Like we
It's
could sit down.
and that's like you name Big Mike and see where I'm lucky. I didn't have the story before softball with Mike, but Mike's one
Yeah,
of the ones where I've lucked out that we became close enough through
yeah,
softball to like that we stay in
yeah,
touch. Hell, I talked to Big Mike. I think I talked to Big Mike every week on Facebook Messenger.
yeah,
We at least
yeah,
whether it's a meme, whether it's just him taking a him taking a subtle shot at my Chiefs.
yeah.
You know, you
Well,
know, just talking wrestling, and it's like,
and it,
and it's cool because that's one of the guys where I always look at the people that I don't talk to in softball much anymore, but that I still keep the few that I still keep in contact with.
huh,
I know to this day, like, and I feel 100% comfortable saying this, that there are the ones that I still converse with, or even if it's not on a regular basis, that I still do
yeah,
talk to, or that reach out to me, should I say, and vice
yeah.
versa, are the ones that I know that at any drop of the hat, if I send a text and said, "Hey, if you got some time, you want to meet up and have a beer,"
Now,
and we could sit
yeah,
down and we could go, and it was like it's like I was never gone.
yep.
Then
I could
Thomas,
tell you what, man.
Cody
Like
Hall, I've got some of them that for sure, like,
I
and
could
I
tell
value
you,
that so much.
I could tell you that we could probably be doing the podcast, and I
Mm-hmm.
bet you there's one person I ain't seen in a few years or hung out with that if I FaceTime him right now, he'd probably pick up. We'd pick up like it was Ness Jorge.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Brad Picard's another one.
Oh, and see, he's
Like
one
we could
I
pick up.
dearly miss. Like, because I haven't talked to Brad.
We
The last
can
time I saw Brad was at a
pick up like
random
it's
little
nothing.
league team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I fucking love me some Brad.
and it's great that like myself, who was around the game of slow pitch for a lot of years, which I enjoyed playing.
Mm-hmm.
That now, when I have now stepped into the world of youth baseball with my boy, and seeing some of those dads now that are out there coaching or just being there for their sons,
Mm-hmm.
and so you get to catch up with that, which is awesome, man. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's you see some of the moms that played, and now you see their
Their kids are
their
playing
kids, but
ball.
then
Yep.
it's like I can name a bunch of guys that I remember playing with, and you follow them on Facebook and social media and anything. You see the kids that you were around the dugouts and stuff like that, and you see how they're grown up, and now you see some of them off to college, some of them off being married, some of them getting married, some of them,
It's
God, now
crazy.
having kids of their own. Man, it's crazy, but ah, you know, here we are, two old, chubby, out of shape ex athletes
Yep.
talking to the world about just random bullshit
With the coolest fucking hats ever.
ever. Ever. Man, if anything, anybody own a hat store, like
That'd be
we,
amazing.
God, we gotta do something, man.
That'd be amazing.
We'd line just get walls and just line up hats, like
Right. I wish we had a podcast room where we met up and like you have the ones on YouTube and you just saw us sitting there with hats all around us.
all around us. That's
All
it.
around us with hats.
Let me do a podcast
Yep.
and lids.
Special guests, and then we'd bring them in there
Bring them
and
in.
fucking bring in wear their favorite fucking hat.
Now, this is episode 11.
Mm-hmm.
If you had, could be a big name, could be small name, could be anyone. Who would kind of be a dream interview of yours that if it was possible to get on here that you could do without kind of geeking out over or try to keep it to a minimum?
Like famous person, and it doesn't matter.
It could be famous, semi-famous. I mean, famous if they're even local, like
Well, I mean,
or someone.
I think the dream, like, if you could interview anybody on a podcast local, like the two that I think would be the most interesting, as it sounds crazy, probably is Tech Nine
Yeah,
and then Travis Kelsey, of course,
yeah, that'd be fun.
because you could him being the big chief of the podcast and like a legit
Yeah,
celebrity.
yeah,
It's just hearing him chop it up with regular guys.
uh-huh.
But then, I mean, if it's, I still, in general, like, if we just name people we know, like, I think between, if, like I told you, Coach Goss
Uh-huh.
would be awesome. Dana Goss, she would be great. Uh, we need to get Aubrey on here.
Yeah.
Miss Harsh would be, Miss Harsh would be entertaining.
Yeah.
Talking about all 37 kids and how much money she's got to spend a year on sports
Now,
and coaching and playing. Also,
yeah,
also played a lot of ball.
I would say
Man, there's a lot.
that I would say this. I would love to actually, now that he's to tie him down one time, I'd love to get him on here with us three. I'd love to get James back on here.
I was about to say that. I was like, that's
When
literally what I was about to say. It's like we need to get James on
I
here with all three of us.
when I started this, and when I was kind of when I first started off, before we made the announcement, you came aboard, that I would love to sit down with. This would be my like Kansas City icon,
Mm-hmm.
Bob Bob Kendricks from the Negro League Museum.
Fuck yeah, that'd be amazing.
Just to hear him talk and sit down and be lucky enough to talk baseball with that man
That would be amazing.
would be absolutely amazing. Um, Believe it or not, and I say this kind of jokingly, but who I would love to sit down and let her geek out and talk wrestling with would be Miss Ashley Hudson.
Yeah.
She is a full geek on wrestling
Oh yeah.
geek.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Didn't you want to go to WrestleMania a couple
I
years
would
ago?
love, yeah, I would love to bend her ear because I know she still follows it pretty heavy. At least I think she does, uh, and all that stuff. And um, you know,
I
who
told
would be fun
I
is
told Ash.
if you
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I got a pretty funny one. Go ahead. I got something after
I
that.
said I wish if he was still around, I think it would be fun to get on here. Would have been Bob Guerra.
Oh my God. Yes.
If
Yes.
and I
Bob
say
would
this
be golden.
because uh, I know it's a little difficult with him now,
Hmm.
and because of his health situation, I love him to death. And God, if anything happened to him, Chuck Klein would be another one.
Chuck would be amazing.
Uh,
I was about to say
Chuck would
Chuck
be
would be
another one.
great.
Um,
Chuck would be
there'd
awesome.
be, like I said, it would be. Yeah, to be honest with you, another. I say Travis Kelsey would be fun locally, like a local star.
That'd be awesome.
Uh, I think he would just because you
Creed
see him
Humphrey.
on his podcast
Yeah.
would be
Creed
fun.
Creed Humphrey would be badass. I think he'd be just like we are.
Yeah,
I get the feeling
but
he's just like we are.
yeah,
Just with a whole lot more money.
yeah.
You know what
If I
other
had,
I was messing with Ashley and I told her that it would be funny if we got the wives on here. Just the two of them and just got going on something because I think it would be hilarious. Because they'd be so
man,
pissed on us probably. They'd be like, you
oh,
motherfuckers. Just all day we'd be in the doghouse.
yeah.
I'm trying to
I
get
would
Braden.
say this.
I'm trying to get Braden to make a cameo because he keeps he'll come in the front door and make a cameo in the front room, like walk through here, and I'm trying to get him to come be on here, but he's super shy, so not a kid for a lot of words, but I'm bound to get him on here and see if we can get him to talk a little bit about high school sports at all, just a little
Well,
bit, just to come chime in a little bit.
I tell you what. I know we had the boy, my boy,
Mm-hmm.
behind us at one time, and ever since that happened, I had the little one that wants to just
Oh,
hop on.
oh yeah.
She has asked me every time. Uh, she's always said stuff that, Daddy, I want to get on your show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, well, baby, she goes, but I don't know what I'm going to say. I said, well, I'm not going to ask you any questions. I'm just going to say, why don't you say hi? You just say hi, wave.
Yeah.
So I just text the wife and said, send her down because she asked me again today. So
Oh
we're
yeah.
going to surprise the hell out of her.
Sweet.
But I think, to be honest with you, one of the, I guess you would say, is one of the personalities from sports talk around here.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I think that would be a fun interview.
that would be.
Uh,
We could get my doppelganger on here. Try to get old Mister St. John to come on,
I
and then
would love to get.
we'd
I'd
be
love to
twinning.
get. I'd love to get C Dot on here.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Did Big Mama want to come on?
I've tried. I tried. I
Man,
want her on. She would be I think, absolute right to have
right?
on. Um, believe it or not, she is or seems to be a little camera shy.
Really?
Yeah,
She had
for
man. That's an amazing human being. Like,
very much so.
you know what I mean? I don't even know. I've never had like the true pleasure of knowing
Well,
Mama near as much as any of you guys. Uh oh. Hi.
you say hi.
How are you?
He said, "How are you?" You say you're
How are
good?
you?
He said, how are you?
I couldn't hear him.
Look at his hat.
What?
Look, we got dogs on our hat.
I thought your Jayhawk, Dad.
I know about
Oh,
your
no.
Yeah. Well, to anybody watching who's going to watch, this is my lovely daughter, Erilyn, who's very silly and shut the door. Now she's a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Got a
you
little
tell
frozen on?
the people what you did today. What did you go do?
Go to gymnastics.
Went to gymnastics. She loves gymnastics. And what did we just sign you up for?
Baseball.
Yeah. We got baseball started in another month.
Yeah.
So what you say hi out there to everybody.
I just sound like that.
Well, she's asked to be on the show. Now you're on the show.
Yay.
You have anything to say before we get off?
Daddy's a jerk.
Daddy's a jerk? Gosh.
Well, man, she has made her debut. She's been asking to come on.
Now you're famous.
Now she's on. She will be viewed by whoever views us. But this is my princess, the one who keeps me on my toes and everything else.
And don't be.
Yeah. So she definitely controls the house.
Hey, I can imagine so.
I have Mama's energies.
This is where she has daddy. Wrapped around that pinky. Well, Hobbs, you had oh, hold on. Ready? You wanna do it with me?
Sure.
Ready? Stop.
Stop down, lips up.
Oh.
No. That's where fires run.
Yeah.
That's right.
Lips up. Oh, no. That's where fires run.
Yeah. And with that,
yes,
from
sir.
me, my princess Hobbs, man, we're out of here.